You hear a lot about boost creep when talking about sewer boost control on WRXs and STIs, the 2.5 liter ones especially. I just wanted to provide a graphical representation of what boost creep looks like. This here is a not real bad case, but it is definitely a case, and you'll see here in a second. So if you look here, this is the boost curve. Right here, this is 0% wastegate duty cycle right here. So now the wastegate on these turbos, the VF series turbos, typically are around 8-9 psi, is what they're set at. And on a factory exhaust, you'll pull 8-9 psi all the way across. But when you add an intake to them and a turboback exhaust, right here in this range, with 48-ish, 100 RPM and up, the wastegate is unable to bypass that exhaust gas to control boost any longer, and turbine speed increases, and therefore it puts more boost in the engine, and so it goes up here and tapers because the compressor's out of breath. But right here in this range, in fourth gear on the highway and a lot of STIs especially, is where you get this boost creep, where the boost will actually go up 17, 18 pounds, maybe more in this range over here. It just depends on what gear they're in, how heavy you load it, but the boost will go well higher than it should. And what happens is, up here in this range, there's so much airflow into the engine that the fuel can't keep up, and your air-fuel ratios start to peter off and go lean as well. And then you have high boost, high back pressure, which is one of the things that causes boost creep anyways, back pressure, and they have a lot of it, and not enough fuel on the motor. So boost creep is pretty dangerous. Right now, this is on a WRX. The intake manifold doesn't have quite the flow rate that the STI does, and therefore it's not as bad of a showing of boost creep. It's also 40 degrees in the air, or 45 by that temperature probe. That's actually in the intercooler itself, so it's colder here in the room than it shows there. And so in this situation, this is a fourth gear pull on the highway. If I had 0% target, or anything less than this 14 psi range targeted, the ECU would not be able to hit it. It would always go higher than my target in this range, if my target was less than this. So that's just a little representation of boost creep actually is. This green line actually added a wastegate duty cycle to it. Interestingly enough, though, it resulted in a lower boost right here. I only imagine that's because there was a little extra back pressure to start off with, and potentially the compressor was going a little slower or something. I don't know. I got to figure out why it's doing that. That's kind of weird. Why it add duty cycle and boost a drop. Oh, you know what? I did also adjust ABCS though, so that's going to have some effect on it. But anyways, red 0% wastegate duty cycle. And that is not the curve you should see. It should come up and be flat like this.